Hey, great news. Amaran has just released their Halo series, which is their brand new budget bicolored lights. Yeah, these bicolored lights run from 60 to 600 watts. And these new Halo lights are not only better than the old lights, but they're also less expensive. Oh, and there's also two new powerhouses, the 300 and 600X. You can actually get a 600-watt light for less than $500 now. That's fantastic. Now, to be clear, these halo lights are not Amaran's fullest featured lights. That would belong to the Ray series that they announced a couple of months ago. Yeah, these are full colored as well as weather sealed. And there's a lot more to these lights than you get out of these lights. But what you get here is a great bicolored light where you're not paying for all the bells and whistles. So they work great in a studio like this where you just set them up once. Now, full disclosure, Amaran did send me these lights for free, but they didn't pay me any money, and I get to say what I want. But you should know that I am a complete Amaran fan. All the lights in my studio are from Amaran. I really love their products. But you know what? I don't love every one of their products. And if you've watched this channel before, you know that I've ragged on a few. In this video, I'll tell you about all the things that Amaran has left out of these lights, but also tell you some of the surprising things that they have left in, some of the great features. Let's start with the Halo 60X. Now, it doesn't come with a reflector. In fact, it doesn't even come with a cover over the light, but it does hold a full-size Bowens mount. Oh, and Amaran has told me that the Bowens mount has actually been reinforced, so it's stronger than it has been on previous models. The light and this is all that you get. And it all comes in this cardboard box, which is a nice form-fitted padding so it doesn't get damaged in shipment, but you're not going to want to travel around with this light. Now for power, it runs off this little USB-C port right here, and you can use your own adapter or the one provided in the box. The one provided in the box has a little angle stop on it here. That's nice. But here's something I'm really glad they didn't skimp on, and that's this full metal mount here. Yeah, this is a much better mount than they had in the old 60X. And that's for a couple reasons. Not only is it fully metal, but it has those little pins on there so it doesn't slip. Oh, and there's also an umbrella holder, which is great for a small light like this. So when we compare this to Amaran's old 60X, well, you can see that the mount on here, well, it kind of sucks. It spigots on like that. You turn it as tight as you can, but then when you have it on the stand, well, it can loosen quite easily. Yeah, not a great design. Plus, the halo light will go straight onto your C-stand, where here, yeah, you're going to need to get some kind of adapter here in order to put it on. Now, the controls on this light are pretty straightforward. It's got a nice little screen here that's full colored. It's easy to use. You've got two knobs. I really like the fact that you can adjust the color temperature here easily with this knob, and then you can adjust the intensity here with this knob. Very simple, straightforward. Now, of course, you can still use the app and adjust the intensity and the color temperature, as well as pick all of those effects. Let's get a little fire going. And of course, you can go in further and adjust the frequency or the intensity. Oh, it also has an NFC chip in here, so you can actually set it up without even turning the light on. So you can have everything going before you even get started. Oh, and the fact that it can be powered by USB-C, well, you can use something like this Amaran Peak 75 battery to power with. Here, let me show you. Oh, but the halo light doesn't have the ace lock, so it's not going to go straight on there. You're going to have to get an adapter. That's going to cost you a little bit more money as well. Oh, and unlike the Ray series, you can't power it directly through the ace lock, so you're going to need a USB-C cable. You're also going to need a USB-C cable that can handle 75 watts of power. Because there's so many USB-C cables out there, Amaran sent me this one that's rated to actually give me 75 watts through the cable. Let's find out if this works. Yeah, voila. I'm getting full 100% power from this light. So while it is a great feature to be able to run it off a battery, you know, I would just buy the Ray light. You can power it straight through. You don't need the cable and you don't need the adapter. Oh, and it also has another USB-C port on here for DMX control. You can buy a little adapter from Amaran, plug that in here, and you have full DMX control over this light. Now, if you don't know what DMX is, don't worry about it. Just be glad you're not paying for it, because the adapter will set you back another $35. But if you need DMX control, $35 is really, really inexpensive to turn this into a DMX controlled light. But now we need to answer the big question, did Amaran skimp on the brightness and quality of this light? Let's find out. So when I measured the Halo 60X through a small softbox about 1 foot away, I got 12,400 LUTs. Yeah, and a CRI score of 96.7. Fantastic. This halo light gives off a great light, and I would expect nothing less from Amaran. When I compared this new 60X to the old 60X, well, this was 15% brighter. Oh, but I forgot to mention that the fan on the halo is very, very quiet. I forgot to mention it because I didn't hear it at all, but I do hear it on the old 60X. So yeah, big improvement in the fan noise as well. Oh, but while we're here, we should also find out how this halo bicolored light performs against the full colored light of the Ray series. And when I compared the 60X against the Ray 60C, well, this was 25% brighter because it's not full color. But do keep in mind that the new halo light doesn't have that omnicolor engine that adds that little black light into the spectrum to kind of bring out the whites in your light. Oh, and at the end of this video, I'll give you a link to my review of the Ray series where you can see for yourself whether or not that little indigo light means something to you or not. But now the feature that's most exciting about this light, and that's the price. You can pick up this 60-watt light for only $119. That is amazing. Now, if you don't think 60 watts is enough for you, well, the halo light does come in 100X. And yeah, this is a pretty good deal as well. It'll cost you another $50, but it is a lot more powerful. Now, everything about the Halo 100X is identical to that of the 60X, except when it comes to the power supply and, of course, the brightness of the light. The power supply doesn't have a USB in, it has a regular connection like that, and a bigger brick. And because it's a 100-watt light, well, it's going to need a bigger battery. Luckily, the peak battery 120, well, it's 120 watts. So let's try that. Again, there's no ace lock, but let's see if it will power up at all. If I put this in, well, there isn't a USB-C port there. Will it go through the DMX port? It works. Yeah. So fantastic. Let's get it up to 100%. Yeah, goes all the way to 100% off the peak battery. Nice. Now, the old 100X had a power brick here that had a connector that was locking, but there was a lot of plastic here on the yoke. There's some metal in here where it counted, but there were reports that if you over-tightened this, well, it would break. It would still work, but then it would crack. I never cracked mine because I never over-tightened it. But having a metal yoke, that's a really, really nice upgrade. All right, let's get it on and test it out. Yeah, so the new Halo 100X is 30% brighter than the old Amaran 100S. It's also a lot smaller. And guess what? It's $30 cheaper. Pretty awesome. Oh, and the fan noise at 100%? Well, I can't even hear it. Unless I lean in, yeah, about there. So if you're worried that you might need a little brighter light, well, the 100X might be perfect for you. But you know the light that excites me the most? It's the 200X. Let me show you that. This is the new Halo 200X, and yeah, it's a big upgrade from the old 200X, and I've used those 200Xs in my studios, and I love them. But this, well, it's better. First of all, it has a full metal yoke, as well, of course, that little umbrella stand. But really, there is a lot of metal on this thing. Yes, and this is really reinforced. Well, the Bowens mount is metal as well. It feels strong, secure, and very well made. I think this is going to last you a long, long time. Now, as with all Halo lights, the interface is pretty much the same. You have the same knobs, but you have a bigger screen. But here's the thing that excites me the most is that this is the cable that connects to it. And guess what? There's no power brick. The power supply is built into this light. And I really, really like that because it's one less thing for me to have to deal with or to find or to label or to lose. Yeah, this is great because this is your standard computer connection cord. Oh, and the cable it comes with, yeah, it's actually pretty long. So all the controls are super easy right here in the back. And it is very, very bright. Or it can go down really, really low, which is another thing that I really enjoy out of a light. But just remember, this is all you get with this light because really it's all that you need. You're probably going to be putting this in a softbox, so it doesn't come with a reflector. It doesn't even come with a cap. You know, I have dozens of these around the studio and I'm not even sure where they came from. When you put up your studio lights, well, you're going to have to find a place to put this. And so Amaran decided to just leave it out. So the old 200X at 1 foot away, 24,100 LUTs. All right, now let's try the new Halo 200X. All right, a foot away, I'm getting 32,800 LUTs. Yep, about 30% brighter. So the new Halo 200X is not only brighter, it's smaller, and it doesn't have this huge, gigantic brick that you've got to hang off of it. Yeah, it's a much better light, and it sells for the exact same price of $249. This is probably the best deal that's out there. And lastly, the Halo 300X and the 600X, well, they're pretty much identical to the 200X, except that they're a little bit longer so they can have a larger heatsink because the light is brighter. Now, personally for me, these two lights are overkill here in my small studio. But you know what? If I had a lot of natural light coming in, I would need more light to compensate for that. Also, if I had a bigger studio, hey, Speaking of that, if you hit the subscribe button and maybe leave a comment and hit like, well, maybe I could get enough money that I could get out of this small studio and I could get a bigger studio and I could use these. Yeah. Hey, you can dream. But all of these have everything that you really need, and that is a great light, a quiet fan, as well as a durable build and a durable yoke to mount it on. Yeah, that's what you really want out of a light that's in your studio that you're going to set up once and not touch. Now, if you're going to take these out on the road, personally, I wouldn't be taking these out on the road. I think you're going to do better by getting something like the Ray light that does come with a case and is weather sealed. And you may want to go even further than that and get an aperture light that is even more durable and has a nicer case if you're really going to be going out a lot. At least that's what I do. But even though most of the lights that I take out of the studio are aperture lights, I've been taking this Ray 120 out quite a bit. Yeah, I can't say enough about the Ray series. And if you'd like to see a video about how great the Ray lights are, well, you can just watch that little video right over there. Hey, thanks for stopping by.